Hi, I'm Lonnie and this is Jacqueline. We're here today to show you how to use your old papers to make new, beautiful paper. Today we have some torn up paper from old projects, and we're going to be putting it in a blender with some water. Jacqueline, maybe you can start that process for us. So you want to use a mixture of soft papers and hard papers so that you can make your paper really solid. Otherwise it might fall apart if you just use like your paper from the computer. The only thing you want to avoid is magazine paper and papers with a film on it, because you do not want your pulp to end up with a slime on the top, and that will happen with the magazines. So after you filled your blender up with paper, you're going to use 1 part paper to 2 parts water. Now step forward, please, Miss Jacqueline. We're going to pour some water in the blender. And now we're making our pulp. Okay, put it on. You want to let your pulp blend for a couple of minutes so that you mix up all the papers. Today we decided to make green paper, so we use a mixture of yellow, blue, white, and green papers to make this color. So now Jacqueline's going to add some things inside. You can use things like musical notes, and you can tear them up and they might show up in your paper, or you can use old flowers or plants or leaves. You can also use things like sprinkles and confetti, which is what Jacqueline has chosen to use today. So go ahead and put a little sprinkles and a little confetti in the pulp mixture. Set those down, please. Now can you mix it up with your hand?
Yes.
How does it feel?
That feels okay.
Is it cold?
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could use hot water, and then it wouldn't be cold, but it is kind of nice on a hot day to use the cold. Now, we have a mold and decal here, and what Jacqueline is going to do, she's going to use the flat end of the mold, which is where the screen sides up, and she's going to place the decal on top. Now, she's going to capture the pulp on the screen, being sure to keep her thumbs off of the screen so that she doesn't get holes. Now keep it as flat as you can, and let the water drain for a minute. As with any good craft, it takes a little patience. Now, Jacqueline, you can set it here when it stops dripping, and lift the decal up off of the mold. Now, she's going to put the mold on the edge of the paper and flip it over. You don't want to wait too long to flip it over, because otherwise the paper could slide off. Now she's going to get the excess water up and onto the sponge by cooching, and then she's going to bring it back inside the tub. You'll need to repeat this process 2 or 3 times. Now when you are cooching, you can use newspaper, sheets of newspaper to cooch it on. You can use felts, which is what we're using today, or you can use old t-shirts or anything from your closet. Alright, now we test it by pressing it. There's a little water still in there, so maybe one little time more and it should be good. Okay, Jack, go ahead and squeeze it one more time. I think that's good. Now this is very important when you're taking your mold off of your felt. Hold the felt down with one hand, and with the other hand, carefully lift it up from one side. And there you have a nice piece of new paper. It's really fun to do things with your paper after you're done. For example, once you've cooched your paper and you have it on a sheet, you can put a cutout heart or your name, and again put the screen on top of it and just set it into your paper. And then when it dries, it'll have a heart, as you can see from the handprint that Jacqueline has. You can also make your paper textured by using an old dishcloth or handy wipe. You can make your colors any color you want. You can make black, green, purple, and many different colors. As you get better with your mold and decal, you can make things like envelopes for your paper. There's also different size molds and decals, so you can make 8.5 by 11 paper or the 5 by 7 sheet. In our next series on paper making, we're going to show you how to make your paper into books. It'll take about a day for your paper to dry in the right weather conditions. It might take a day or two if it's really wet outside. What you do when your paper is dry is carefully peel it from the top to the bottom. The paper might roll up a little bit if it's really thin. Just put a book on top of it and it'll flatten it out. Thanks. Join us again next time. Bye.